Hello and welcome to my pitch deck for the development of Fontaines DC. Firstly, who are Fontaines DC? They are an Irish alternative rock band formed in 2017. At the time of writing, they have 1.13 million Spotify followers. They also have one UK number 1, Skinty Fia, and 2 UK number 2 records, Romance and A Hero's Death. According to Tompkins' stages of an artist's career, Fontaines would be an established act as they have not had a record reach platinum status yet, and the shows they play usually have a capacity of around 10,000. However, due to the band playing higher capacity venues multiple times in the UK and Ireland and a couple 40,000 plus capacity venues in the USA, this categorization can be disputed. The band is also signed to XL Recordings, an independent label which is also part of the Beggars Group, a group of independent labels. The main way data was gathered for this plan was through Soundcharts, a data platform which shows artist performance in areas like airplay, social media, streaming, and follows. Although this platform is extremely useful, it has its limitations. For example, it had no Instagram or Spotify data for Asia and Africa, and it had no data for Fontaines for US states with under 24,700 Spotify listeners. These aspects may have led to the research to be biased. This plan will see Fontaines grow their American audience as it is their second largest following behind the UK. This growth would be measured in Spotify monthly listeners and Instagram followers. To help with this, the band can use their label's contacts in America to help with touring and marketing. The go-to market strategy will target American-based rock fans under 35 years old. The band will also use their unique selling point, or USP for short, of their Irish accents to appeal to the American audience. The main way the band will grow overseas is through the use of social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube, utilizing these platforms to appeal to their target audience and grow their media presence. Alongside this, the band will play gigs in areas with high fan popularity and growth. To suit their target audience, the band will have inexpensive ticket prices, using penetration pricing to gain an edge on artists they are competing with who have bigger US fan bases. Brand partnerships will also be used to appeal to the target audience. One way of doing this could be through a collaboration with an American sports team. Using Porter's 5 forces and pestle analysis, areas for development have been highlighted. Some factors include the threat of substitution, the power of consumers and suppliers, becoming more politically active, and improving environmentally. Outside of the analysis, audience engagement should also be improved. This map shows artist positioning based on their Instagram demographics. As you can see, Fontaines are in a competitive area of the market. Therefore, a USP is useful in helping them stand out from other artists. However, this data on the graph could be biased as Instagram is more densely populated by a younger audience. This plan will see the American music market be targeted, focusing on alternative rock fans under 35 years old. As Instagram is their largest social media following, we can assume from this that the majority of their audience is under 35, as over half their Instagram followers are also under 35. Their Irish accent USP will differentiate them in the American music market. This suggestion is due to the fact that many Irish artists have been able to have big audiences in America, for example, the Cranberries and Hosier. Due to this target audience, it was decided that Instagram and YouTube should be the main platforms to target as they are the most popular with the target age range. This graph's data does not exactly fit the target age range. However, it is still shown that YouTube and Instagram are among the top 3 social media platforms used by 18 to 29 and 30 to 49-year-olds. So it can be assumed that Instagram and YouTube are the best platforms to target. When looking at social media accounts for Wallows, a similar band who have a larger American following, we can see where Fontaines is falling behind. For example, Wallows post behind the scenes clips on their social pages. Due to the success Wallows have seen in America, we can suggest that Fontaines do something similar to grow their US fan base. Live shows will also be played to grow their following. Using data from their mailing list and Instagram, such as where the followers and subscribers live, we can work out the best places to book gigs. We can also work out the correct size venue to book, which can minimize unsold tickets, increasing revenue. The pricing strategy will reflect spending habits of the target audience. Most American Gen Zers don't spend over $110 on entertainment per month. Although our target demographic is not solely Gen Z, as it goes to roughly age 29, and we are looking to aim at under 35-year-olds, we can make a generalization that this data would be true for the majority of their target audience. However, this data does also include other forms of entertainment, such as streaming services. Now, assuming the average person has Amazon Prime and Video, Netflix, and Spotify Premium, they will spend $34.97 a month on streaming, leaving a maximum of $75.03 for other entertainment. Therefore, $75 price caps should be applied on tickets to make them accessible to the young target audience. This penetration pricing will also increase their competitiveness against artists with US fan bases. For example, Wet Leg, who operate in a similar area of the market, are charging £87, roughly $115.83 per ticket. This may be out of the average price range for Gen Zers, potentially enticing them to see Fontaines DC instead, as we suggested they should have lower ticket prices. Partnerships will introduce the band to more Americans. One partnership could be with a sports team. Previously, the band has collaborated with Bohemian FC to make a jersey to fundraise for charity. A way of doing this in America could be to collaborate with a team and a charity in Boston. For example, the band could collaborate with New England Revolution soccer team to make a jersey to raise money for the Greater Boston Food Bank. An example of the shirt could look like this. By collaborating with a sports team and a charity based in Boston, Fontaines would gain exposure while also connecting emotionally with the public, not only due to the Irish history and connections, but also the help they are doing for the city. This will also help towards a philanthropic responsibility in Carroll's CSR pyramid. The reasoning behind this proposal is due to their chart success and continued fanbase growth. Alongside their streaming success, they have headlined the Park stage at Glastonbury and are set to headline Reading and Leeds. As America is the largest audience behind the UK, the band should try to expand their audience here, especially as America is the largest recorded music market and grew by 2.2% last year. The proposed strategy is similar to the existing strategy, as you can see from this table. The main differences being the audience we are targeting, in this case Americans, and we are aiming to do more social media engagement as well as promotion. Looking at Porter's 5 forces, there are 2 forces which are the most important to consider with the band. The threat of substitutes is a problem for Fontaines as they are not established in America, meaning they have little appeal to people who are unaware of them or not fans of their music. Because of this, there is an equal opportunity of converting the public into fans for other artists. One way the band can prevent this is through their USP. If their Irish heritage is conveyed through their promotion, then they may attract the American public, as they are different to other artists in the market. Again, many Irish acts have been able to have big fan bases in America. For example, the Cranberries and Hosier. The bargaining power of customers and suppliers also need to be considered. Firstly, customers control whether the band grow. If they do not like them, then they will not support them. If this happens, the record label may decide to give the band less money, meaning smaller venues, less shows, less promotion, which all affects growth. A pestle analysis of Fontaines DC shows that they are politically active. They do this by supporting movements like Free Palestine and fundraising for charity. This reflects positively on them as it shows them using their platform for good. The other factors show area for development. They are not active socially, only posting clips and photos from gigs and tours and release updates on their Instagram. This is where engagement should drive from. Improving their social media should expand their reach among the American target audience. Growth here should also see promoting gigs being more successful, allowing them to sell out larger venues. YouTube and Instagram are two of the biggest platforms for their target ranges. So these are the main platforms to target. Environmentally, the band could improve. This could be done by collaborating with Coldplay's team, introducing their green elements such as electricity generating dance floors into their shows. As well as this, they could use their label's American contacts to get their equipment from American companies rather than shipping gear overseas. This would again reflect positively on the band, as not only are they looking out for the people, they'd be looking out for the planet as well. Similarly to their Irish USP, the environmental stance could be used as a USP which could not only gain them more fans, but it could also pave the way for more brand opportunities with companies who value the environment, such as Patagonia, a clothing brand who are trying to be socially and environmentally responsible. For example, they are turning discarded fishing nets into items, keeping waste out of the ocean. This collaboration could see a clothing line be made with the brand, or simply the band wear the clothing and become ambassadors. Looking at audience engagement, one way it could be improved is to play more intimate shows. In 2022, they played a show at a 500 cap venue where they previewed new songs. Not only did it support charity, which again positively reflected on the band, it also generated hype around the new album as people posted the new songs online. This could have impacted their album Skinty Fia debuting at #1 on the UK charts. Shows like this can also aid audience engagement as the band can limit shows to mailing list subscribers, which can entice casual fans to become more dedicated and join mailing lists, also granting the band more data to work with. Success metrics. Success will be measured in an increase in Spotify streaming numbers and Instagram followers. We want to see the band double their follower counts on Instagram and their monthly listeners on Spotify, seeing them increase to at least 250,000 and 500,000 respectively. This should see them chart higher in America, as their only release to chart there is Romance at 97th on the Billboard 200. Future releases should chart higher than 97th and stay in the Billboard 200 for multiple weeks. This should also impact the venues they play at. Doubling their fan base in America means they should be able to play bigger shows. Success here would see them headlining multiple 20,000 plus capacity venues and playing venues with up to 80,000 capacity. This graph shows the maximum capacity of shows the band have played in New York. The largest capacity venue they have played was 19,000. Madison Square Garden is a famous 20,000 capacity venue in New York, which have hosted acts such as Billy Joel. It could cost up to $500,000 to rent the venue, but these fees are higher than many other venues, probably due to the prestige the venue holds. Expenses like staff wages and other acts will also need to be paid for. Considering this, the gig may need to make upwards of $1 million to break even. Therefore, the minimum they should charge is $50 a ticket. This doesn't break the $75 cap for tickets suggested, so their target audience should be able to go. To make a profit, they could charge more for premiums like better seats or packages like queue jump passes. They can also sell merchandise at a cost plus price point to increase profits. Using Carroll's CSR pyramid, we can investigate non-economic success metrics. The band should target ethical and philanthropic responsibilities. To be ethically sound, the band should be eco-friendly. Again, this could be done by collaborating with Coldplay's tour team to put some of their sustainable practices into their tours. For example, a partnership with DHL to lower transport emissions. Another way of being ethical is by not overcharging for tickets. Banning dynamic pricing on tickets can help accomplish this. As well as being ethical, it will help adhere to the goal of charging inexpensive prices for tickets so their target audience will be able to attend shows. This will also be helped by the price cap on tickets we suggested. Fontaines are already a philanthropic group due to their charity work and political activism. But to be even more philanthropic, they could organise events such as fundraising festivals for charity. New technologies allow Fontaines to be able to be more environmentally sustainable. As more ways to generate green energy become readily available, the band will be able to tour with lower emissions. Not only will this improve their image, but it will also increase the amount they can tour without harming the world, potentially increasing revenue from playing more. However, this could be expensive for them. So they could tour with an environmentally sustainable band like Coldplay to learn how to do it while keeping the costs down. Another way new technologies could benefit the band is through virtual concerts. An example of this being Sabrina Carpenter's Fortnite concert. An event on Fortnite would increase the band's reach on the American audience, as 21.10% of Fortnite players are from the States and over half of Fortnite players are between 18 and 34. A collaboration like this would be perfect to grow the band's fan base, as the majority of Fortnite players are in the same demographic as the band's target audience. New technologies like AI could also help the band, as they could use it to analyze data quickly and predict trends which can assist growth with specific audiences. It could also hopefully address problems before they arrive, saving the band from wasting money on marketing or on shows that may not benefit them. Thank you for listening. Any questions?